Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Today we're proceeding with the same chapter 22, Al-Haj, the pilgrimage. And yesterday we stopped at verse number 35. And as we mentioned, that the main goal of this chapter is glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, show that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's orders are they have the superiority over anything or anybody, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what He's asking for need to be done. So you go to Hajj, you go to pilgrimage, you leave everything behind you, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to do it one time in your lifetime. He didn't ask you to do it 100 times, only one time. So from there, we see that Allah kept mentioning His name, glorifying His name, believing in name. I mean, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, very important to understand, when we mentioning Allah's name or making something called dhikr, remembrance of Allah by your tongue, by your heart, what is the purpose of that? Does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really need that? No. But the purpose is when you say La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, only one God worthy of worshiping, who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only one. What does that mean? That means when you say that your heart is only connected with Allah, that Allah is the one who can benefit you. So when you have a problem at work, or a problem at home, or a problem with a family, or whatever, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who can take care of the affair. You do the best of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to do. You do the good, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger Muhammad will approve it, will give you a thumb up for that. So Allah is the one who can benefit you. Allah is the one who can harm you. Allah is going to give you, He is the one who can give you a bonus. Allah is the one who can take that bonus. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so when you have it, when you get inflicted with a disease, when you have any tribulation, any calamity, anything, that's when you say Allah ilaha illallah, means I depend on you, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, you're sufficient for me. Ya Allah, you're the one who's going to take care of my affairs. This is what it is. So the whole idea of this zikr, remembrance, is to strengthen your belief. You don't have to be worried. One of the biggest problems we have, Muslims or non-Muslims, believers or non-believers, is what? Psychological problems. People are worried. People are happy. People are sad. People are psychological problems are all over the place. Why? Because you are keep believing in reasons. Yes, reasons are very important, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked us to take every reason, exploit all the reasons around you. You want a job? You apply. You want a job? You go to the school. You try to go to the best school. You try to go to the best curriculums. You want to the best, which will lead you towards it. But at the end of the day, you have to understand one thing, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who's controlling everything. And that's what's the dhikr. That's why Allah, you're the greatest. Allah, you're the one. And whenever you have all that kind of belief, and remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who's going to benefit you, He's the one who's going to harm you, you're happy. Because you know that you believe in in an entity, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which will not going to let you fail. Because you are doing good. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a king. When you do a favor to a king, imagine a king, he has his son or whatever traveling one day, and his wallet fell off on the floor. You grab him, and he didn't see it, you grab the wallet. Oh, here's your wallet. The prince is going to tell his father. The father is like, oh, well, bring me that guy. Let me make a celebration. Make me give him a lot of bonuses. Let me give him a lot of money. Whatever. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala treating a king. When you do good, because He knows everything, He'll elevate you. He'll elevate your status. He'll make you happy. He'll make you happy. And that is the real happiness. Tranquility, peace. Peace in your heart. You wake up, you're smiling. You sleep, you're smiling. You go to the doctor, you're not, there's nothing nothing will worry you. You're not worried about anything. Why? Because you believe in the king. And you believe in the king, you'll do everything the king is asking you to do. So you're happy. Because you are doing what the king asks you to do. So the king will, how come the king is not going to treat you even better? That's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you remember Allah, remember that He's controlling everything. He's controlling all the affairs. That is why remembrance is. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He talks, verse 36, وَالْبُدْنِ جَعَلْنَاهَا لَكُمْ مِنْ شَعَائِرِ. Indeed, we made these camels, cows, sheep, are rituals of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَكُمْ فِيهَا خَيْرٍ. There's benefits out of it. There's meat coming out of it. There is, like we said yesterday, that slaughtering this animal means these animals are not at any way means of worshipping of Allah, like other Hindus or Hinduism or whatever. They make these things are holy. Cows are holy. I mean, some religions have even a rat as a holy. I mean, unbelievable. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when you slaughter those, these are nothing. These are just have made them for you. فَاذْكُرُوا اسْمَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهَا صَوَافٍ. When you slaughter them, mention the name of Allah. Why? Mentioning again, remember Allah. So sawaf means when they have them, when they line them for slaughtering, remember the name of Allah. First of all, you are saying that I am, Ya Allah, sacrificing this, not for an idol, not for a statue, not for myself. It's only because you asked me to do so, Ya Allah, I'm doing it. That's number one. Number two, you're thanking God, because He is the one who made it possible for you to have this animal subdued. This animal is under control. Imagine if these animals, you cannot control them. It's very hard to control them, to be able to have them in a slaughterhouse and to be able to slaughter them. What will happen? You won't be able to benefit from their meat. So this is another thing. Thank Ya Allah that you're able us to control these animals and eat them. Their meat proteins. Animal protein also has a lot of proteins which are unavailable anywhere else. So you're saying again, it's a mean to provide for the needy. So a lot of benefits. فَاذْكُرُوا اسْمَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ فَإِذَا وَجَبَتْ جُنُوبُهُ. After they fall, فَكُلُوا مِنْهَا. Eat. After these animals are slaughtered and on the ground, فَكُلُوا مِنْهَا. Eat. وَاطْعِمُوا. Give to those who ask and those who don't ask. كَذَلِكَ سَخَّرَهَا لَكُمْ. Indeed, He made them for you. He controlled them for you. He subdued them for you. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have subjected these animals to you. So, as we said, to be grateful. To be grateful. Because like I said, without those animals being subjected, we won't benefit from their meat. We won't be able to control them. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the very important ayah. Out of these rituals we do, prayers, fasting, pilgrimage, slaughtering the animals. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? What He wants out of that? God consciousness, God fear, God obedience. How? You will be tested. Every day there is a lot of tests. Oh, do I lie or say the truth? Somebody's calling you on the phone, asking you, Oh, whatever, some information. Will you lie about things happen or things you did? Will you lie or you say the truth? You are a driver. Somebody forgot a bag, have $10,000, and you drop that person at a hotel. Are you praying? You fast? You're a guy who prays, you're a guy who fasts, a guy who go to Hajj. After 10, 15, 20 miles, you went home at the end of the day, you cleaning your car, you found that bag. The guy have no idea, the guy cannot even track you. Will you go the next day and give him his $10,000, or you say, oh, that's a gift from Allah. That's a gift from God. It's a test. So all these rituals is to have, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, to have the taqwa. To have the taqwa. To be able not to do the sin. Not to sin. Not to encourage the falsehood. Not to encourage misguidance. Not to encourage watching obscenity or talking obscenity. And watching nudity. And watching all these singers or actors or actresses doing indecent things, obscene things. All this stuff, when you have that kind of consciousness, which all these rituals will build in you, you try to abstain from all of that stuff. I'll say the truth. I'll be cheerful individual. I'll smile. I'll try to be assalamu alaikum. How are you? I become a person who's humble. Because how humble I could be when you see somebody who's needy, God have given you driving a Mercedes, or you have a big house or a mansion. You could be. It's only God's favor upon you or on you that He gave you all of this. He gave you schooling. He gave you parents who took care of you. He gave you schooling. He was able to make you somebody. But you could be the one who you're looking down upon a homeless guy. You could be in his situation. It's only God's help. He's the one who will change. So be humble. Whenever Allah give you the money, the power, authority, be humble. Because you can be in that person's shoes who you're looking down upon. So be humble. All of these rituals is for this. To make us slaves of Allah. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in this ayah, لَن يَنَالُ اللَّهَ لُحُومَهُ. Allah will not gonna get its meat. وَلَا دِمَاؤُهَا, or the blood out of it. وَلَكِنْ يَنَالُهُ التَّقْوَى مِنْكُمْ. Indeed, God-fearing, God-consciousness, piety is the one which will reach Allah. That Allah wants you when after you do all these rituals, you become a believer, more believing, you have more iman, more belief. So you abstain from doing any sins. Abstain from getting or taking any of the rights, any of the property of others. Abstaining from lying. Abstaining from not saying the truth. All that stuff. What should Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? كَذَلِكَ سَخَّرَهَا لَكُمْ لِتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهِ. Indeed, Allah make all these animals or all these animals as subjected to you. He subdued those to you. لِتُكَبِّرُوا, to mention His greatness. And we said when you mention His greatness, when you mention His name, this is make God consciousness. You remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you remember that He is in control, and you become steadfast. Allahu ala ma hadakum, and indeed so you will glorify Allah of what He have guided you towards. What Allah mentioning about guiding us towards what? Tawheed, monotheism. La ilaha illallah. Only one God worthy of worshiping, who is Allah. He is the one who is able to benefit you. He is the one who is able to give you the bonus. He's the only one who is able to make you happy. He's the only one who can make you, give you whatever, everything. It's in his hand. Job, money, happiness, it's Allah's hand. So all of this, so you will may glorify Him. That He gave you the guidance. Tawheed, 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 Tawheed. This is what the Quran is talking about from A to Z, about Tawheed. All of your affairs, monotheism. All of your affairs are in Allah's hand. How you worship Allah alone. That's what the Quran. All the Quran is all about. Allah alone. Not to have partners, not to have objects, not to have Jesus, not to have all of these partners, Mary, tombs, graves, not to be a hypocrite, not to look at things with one eye. If it's my benefit, I'll do it. If it's not in my benefit, I won't do it. All of this Quran is saying, if you are only you only looking for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's pleasure, happiness, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I will do it. Regardless. If it's conflict with my interest, it doesn't matter. Allah said so, Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam said so, that's it. That's what is the whole Quran is talking about. So you will may glorify and thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of what He have given you and have guided you towards. وَبَشِّرِ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Oh, and give the glad tidings, give the good news to those who does better, the good doers, the people who try to do the things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, not just in rituals. I have to stand up in the prayer like this, or you're supposed to be like this. At the end of the day, yes, you do whatever you can. Some people, okay, they cannot do the rituals like salah, some actions of the salah because they have a disability or whatever. It's fine. The whole idea is the heart. Where is your heart? Is your heart connected with Allah? Are you muhsin? You're a good doer. You want the good doers. You want good for everybody. Or you're jealous from this person because he has a better car. Or you're jealous from this brother, or jealous from this sister because she has a better house. Or you're jealous from this because their kids are in a better school. That's just what it is. This is what the religion is made for. It's to clear the heart and make it only connected towards الله سبحانه وتعالى. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين.